First of all, Andrew Tate would rip your face off.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
And your answer to people you don't like is physical violence. Violence always do this.
Alistair Campbell didn't help. He said, "Oh yeah, they say that you're my gimp." Sensible liberals are another of our strengths. So, I was watching Steve Coogan on The Newsagents, which is a horrific program with Emily Maitlis and Andrew Marr and all those characters. No, not Andrew Marr. It's John Sopel.
Yeah,
John Sopel.
He's like a champagne socialist.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I went to the Cheltenham Festival once, and he was in the same hotel as me, and we were nodding. We were like nodding to each other. Oh. That's before I woke up, and I thought he was great. Yeah. I didn't realise he was such an. And I was like, all right, John.
He's done some funny stuff. I liked him. Not everything he did, but I found him funny.
He's not a comedian. He's a reporter.
Who?
John Sopel.
No, I'm talking about the other guy.
Oh, Steve Coogan.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've never met Steve Coogan.
All right, yeah.
He was talking with one of the shills about toxic masculinity and Andrew Tate and saying how terrible it is. And then you know what he said is, I'd like to punch him if I met him.
Well, yeah. First of all, Andrew Tate would rip your face off.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
And your answer to people you don't like is physical violence. Violence always do this. Punch a Nazi. It's okay to punch a Nazi.
Yes.
Let's all be tolerant and compassionate, unless you're a Nazi, in which case we can punch you.
Yeah.
The whole reality makes no sense.
But he couldn't see the hypocrisy. They were talking about toxic masculinity and all that. And then she said, well, what would you do if you met Andrew Tate? And he said, I'd punch him.
Yeah.
And you're right, the sad thing is, Andrew Tate would tear him apart. He wouldn't get anywhere near Andrew Tate, would he?
Andrew Tate is a complex figure. And there's many things about him that I don't like. And there's other things he's said and done that I quite like. But he's become the new Tommy Robinson.
Yes.
He's become the new person to hate and turn into a boogeyman. And to tell your kids about, don't go near him, crazy.
And then Rory Stewart. So JD Vance, who's a new vice president, who's a very, very bright guy, very bright. Rory Stewart, JD Vance, I think, quoted the Bible and said something about, I'm paraphrasing now, so you might have to correct me, but he said something about family first, then country, then whatever. He put something you and I have talked about, charity begins at home. I'm a great believer in that. And then Rory Stewart came back with some comment trying to quote whatever it was. And then JD Vance came back with actual quotes from the book, supporting what he'd been saying, basically blowing Rory Stewart out of the water. And then to finish it off, he said, these guys are the problem. And it's kind of what you were saying about what did you call them? Sensible liberals.
Sensible liberals.
He's got an IQ of 110. Rory Stewart's got an IQ of 110 and thinks he's got an IQ of 130. And they're not that bright, these guys. They know a little bit of stuff. But when they come up against somebody like JD Vance, who's got a real brain and a real skill about him, they're just blown out of the water, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, he is one of the reasons why the Tory party was such a failure.
Yeah.
Because they allowed people like him to join. People like, that's that other woman called, I forget her name now. But David Cameron ruined the Tory party by allowing basically Lib Dems to join the Tory party. Yeah. And that's what he is. He's a Lib Dem.
Yeah. I mean, he was being touted as a leader at one point.
He ran for leadership. I liked some of the stuff he talked about. I liked him because he'd done so many tours in the army in Afghanistan and stuff like that. I liked him for that. But he was too weak, mild, wishy-washy. Yeah. And that's what I didn't like about
he was whining to Alistair Campbell the other day, saying, people say I'm not a real man, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm Gollum. And Alistair Campbell didn't help because he said, oh, yeah, they say that you're my gimp. Because he is a bit of a gimpy character, isn't he, Rory Stewart? And he was saying, but these people, they say that's what they talk about, being about real men, but there's far more. But he is just a wimpy little shit, isn't he? He's not a proper man, and he's not a proper representative of our people, is he?
He's an enigma because of his army career. So
yeah, but you can imagine he was just sitting in his office ordering people around because he was a bit posh. Can't you? I bet he never actually fought anybody.
Yeah, but he did tours of Afghanistan. So
in the back of a bus.
See, I find him, apart from the army bit, he's exactly what I expect him to be. It's just the army bit that goes, oh, I just don't understand where that fits in. But yeah, he comes across as a weak, pathetic man. If we all get together and hug, we can solve the world problem.
Well, Alistair Campbell said he'd back him in most. He didn't say all fights. He said some fights.
Right.
But I reckon you could take Rory Stewart, Nick.
With my back, I could take
Even
9 Rory Stewarts all at once. Him and Andy Burnham. I'll do the pair at once.
This is what when we take power. This is what we need to do. A televised event every week of you fighting.
Yeah.
So first week.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
The first week it'd be Andy Burnham.
Yeah.
Next week it'd be Rory Stewart.
Yeah. Then it'll be that MMA fighter who's got a girly name.
Which MMA fighter that's got a girly name? What, with the long blonde hair? Shirley Crabtree.
Trump's friend.
Dana White. White. Oh my God,
I'll be taking him on because
he would just absolutely. I mean, I think you might stand a chance against Andy Burnham and possibly, but Dana White will just destroy you, I'm afraid. And he doesn't fit in the category. It's got to be left wingers who bring him in. It's got to be left wingers who've belittled.
I was cheating. I was picking one really weak with a girly name.